We're set to go. That's Brian Hines in the center to tip it off with Cameron Mack. Mack at 6'6", Hines at 6'7". Fans are in the stands. Students are back in class. We're back on the court, and we're ready to bring you what we hope to be an outstanding Division III college basketball matchup this afternoon from Horsburgh Gymnasium. The Spartans will win the tip, and Mitch Prendergast, their talented point guard, will bring the ball up. This is Cole Frilling and Mitch Prendergast out top. Frilling dribbled it off his ankle.
Ron, the most interesting thing I'm waiting to see right now in this possession is how the Spartans are going to guard. How they're going to guard Jack Nolan. Right now they're putting Cornicker on him. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in a no-help situation.
Nolan's in jersey number 22. Going to watch him a lot today. Trying to work the ball inside. Frilling will kick it. Washington University will keep it. Nolan was he's the leading candidate, you could say, for University Athletic Association Player of the Year, 22 points per game. He has hit 53s this year. I watched him in warm-ups. This is him with the basketball. He hit 22 of the 30 that he did in a tour around the outside arc in his warm-ups. There's a three in the air, and it's a good one from Justin Hardy.
Justin Hardy, don't forget, he was freshman of the year in the UAA just a few years ago. Very talented, another player that the Spartans are going to have to try and neutralize.
So Wash U gets off where they'd like to with an opening three. Spartans will try to answer. Cornicker inside, off the glass, won't go. Hines almost got the rebound. And this is Doyle with the loose ball. Now it's Nolan with Frilling on him. Cole cuts him off baseline. Hardy top of the key, finding his teammate, that's Charlie Jacob, with the basketball.
You can see down there that WashU loves to do some pin down screens, sometimes on both sides, to try and open up stuff in the wing and get their shooters, especially Jack Nolan, the shots on the wing.
They'll get a second look, and the second look's good from Hayden Doyle.
Now we saw last time down, WashU sticks with their patented drop coverage. Let's see if they stick with that. So that just means on a ball screen, the big man's going to stay back.
Prendergast with a great drive, drew the defense and dished it off to Brian Hines. That was beautiful.
Finally got off the schneid. See if they can get a stop right here.
Mack with a drive, soft floater over Hines, missed it. Brian grabs the rebound. Hines with 6 rebounds per game this year, second on the team. He's been outstanding inside for Coach McGinnis. This is Cornicker with the basketball. Griff off to Fowler. Bob draws that D, good ball movement. Prendergast will launch it top of the key. Missed it short. Back come the Bears.
Ron, you can feel the pace it's playing at right now. Very quick up and down the floor. Both teams want to keep it a high possession game.
You know, Jack, one of the problems that the Spartans have had, if they've had many at all in a 14-2 season as a dunk is missed, is they've struggled playing well early, specifically in the first half of games. And we'll use Friday night's matchup against Chicago as case in point. It was an awful first half. They scored 34 points for a team that averages 90 per year, but then the second half they flipped the switch. You don't want to do that against Washington University.
Yep, you want a hot start. Right now they're actually doing a pretty good job of stopping them on defense. Only 5 points. Obviously we're only 3 minutes into the game, but they're guarding Nolan pretty well right now. They just need to figure out a way to get some more open looks.
Boy, if Cornicker just tucks that one in and takes it all the way to the hoop himself, I think he gets a layup. Subs in for WashU. 3 players come in, including David Winley. Winley's number 11. 23 right there, Jake Wolf in your shot. Wolf from Glencoe, Illinois. Winley from Brentwood, Tennessee. Off a screen, Fowler, top of the screen, missed it.
You know, this line change type of sub might tell us what or how WashU is planning on playing this game. They might want to keep the pace up, keep fresh legs in. Only 3 minutes into the game, they already subbed out 3 players.
With the basketball is Doyle to the ground. He'll control it. Bears have 12 seconds to shoot. This is Nolan. He can step back and pop that. Beautiful dribble behind his back. And
that was
he
impressive.
Went through 2 defenders and laid it up and laid it in.
And we've seen everything from him at the start. That was incredible ball handling. He had a great pass for the last possession. The only thing we haven't seen is possibly what he's best at, and that's shooting.
Spartans down 5 early, 4 minutes in. Hines looking for a teammate. This is Corniker. Griffin against the defense. Drew it and dished it back to Hines. Nice job by the point guard.
Ron, going back to the substitutions, WashU's plan might be to try and run down Case. They know Case doesn't go too deep into their bench if they feel like they have a deep bench. That might be their plan. Try and keep the pace up the whole game and see if they can just tire Case out.
The pace has been frantic, that's for sure. Whistle on the ball. Foul's going to go against Fowler. That will be Bob's first. On the season, the Bears can score it. Obviously, you win 14 games, you can score it. They average 74 points per game, but that pales in comparison to the type of scoring that the Spartans like to put up. Big rebound inside and the putback after a miss by Jake Wolf.
Spartans might have gotten away with one on a shooting foul, but weren't able to get the board either way. WashU's going to stay active on the offensive glass. They're going to need to try and defensive rebound a little bit better.
Corniker floats it to Hines. Bryan inside, reverse layup. How about Hines? Jack, he's got 6 points in the first 4.5 minutes.
He's
averages 8 on the year.
Absolutely.
Fowler with defense. Nice job, block shot, but once again, that second opportunity for this Bears offense. They've cashed in on it too.
And you can notice, Ron, as we watch the game, Nolan's going to like to sit at these block areas on purpose because he knows his team is really good at setting him pin down screens, and he'll just sit there and wait for one.
Forced a shot off Cole Freeling. How about Cole just suffocating Nolan on that possession?
That was great defense. It made him throw up a shot. You know, he can make those, but we're going to take that more times than not.
Freeling at 6'6" and long arms to go along with it. Matched up at least early in this game against Nolan at 6'1". So there's always a trade-off, right? You've got to ask yourself the energy that Cole's going to exert to match up against Nolan, is that going to affect him offensively?
Right. And it's a long game, and as you can see, WashU's going to try and play that long game. Great
ball on the floor, bodies on the floor. Bears come up with it. 2-on-2 break. Hines blocks the shot. Fowler blocked it, but they're going to get Bob for the foul. That's the second foul on Fowler. But look at this defense, though.
Great effort right there. Look at the long wingspan right there, able to get a touch on there. You know, and again, even more telling about what WashU wants to do, pushing the pace right there, and as well as they're applying full court pressure on Corniker.
This is Wolf at the foul line. Jake is just a 20% free throw shooter on the season. Massive subs in for the Spartans. Luke Thorburns in, Hunter Drenth is in, along with Luke Gensler. You know, I saw Luke for the first time on Friday night. He came in, played significant minutes in that second half when the Spartans really took away that game from Chicago. He was outstanding.
I'm sure Luke is happy to finally get a chance to get in the game. You know, the Spartan team's been playing so well that unfortunately minutes have been hard to come by. And Luke's one of the first beneficiaries of, you know, having a great game against Chicago. He's able to show himself.
I was talking to Coach McGinnis before the game about Gensler specifically as Corniker shoots a fadeaway shot that misses. Here come the Bears. It's Nolan with the basketball. They'll get it down the floor. We've got a 4-point lead, 10-6, 6 minutes gone in this opening half. And he was saying that Gensler was a Power 5 type player in the Pittsburgh area, highly recruited. He broke his ankle his senior year, had ankle surgery, and it's taken him a while to get back into shape, get back into the flow, and he really feels that he's at that point right now, Jack, where he can be on the floor and affect the game, and it certainly was evident on Friday night.
Yeah, that's a great feeling as a player. Injuries are such a setback, but it really forces you to stay committed to what you're doing. Luke stayed committed to that, and I'm glad that now he finally feels like he's at that point where he can contribute the way that he knows he can.
Gensler's wearing number 22. He's on the left wing, and that's him with the basketball. This is Hunter Drenth. Inside to Ryan Newton. Ball's loose. Hunter grabs it back. Drenth working against Hardy. Inside, ball fake. Tough shot. Fadeaway won't go. And Justin Hardy grabs that rebound. You know, speaking of storylines, number 12 with the ball right now, Justin Hardy is playing with stage 4 stomach cancer. There was a wonderful article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch a couple of weeks ago on Justin. This past summer, he lost 50 pounds as he got his first round of chemotherapy treatments. He's worked himself back. He's gained the weight back. He's put himself into shape. You mentioned he was UAA Rookie of the Year his first year. He was second team last year, and he's one of the key players for Pat Yuckham on this basketball team once again this year. It's an amazing story.
I mean, talk about a fighter, Ron. That's a remarkable story, and look at what he's doing right now, too.
This is Hardy with the basketball. Banging against Hunter Drenth. Shot clock, they're not going to get it off. They did get it off. Boy, that was tight. That's Thorburn with the rebound. You said, look what he's doing. He's got 11.7 rebounds per game. Shooting 45% from the field. I think Coach McGinnis was talking about the shot was not, but it didn't matter.
Yep, got the rebound either way. It did look from our angle that he did get it off, but either way, missed. Spartans got it.
So here we stand, Spartans and McGinnis down 4. It's 10-6. 7.5 minutes gone in this opening half. And a game matching two of the top 3 teams in the University Athletic Association. Emory being the third. Emory lost to WashU. Emory knocked off Case Western Reserve a week ago here. That's Cornicker, going to leave it short. Hunter Drenth, or that was Thorburn fighting inside, and Luke drew a foul. He drew it from Charlie Jacob. Pat Yuckham doesn't like it. The poor officials. Nobody wants to like the officials. Todd McGinnis giving them grief. Pat Yuckham giving them grief.
I was thinking the same thing, Ron. They're getting it from both sides of the court right now. You know, WashU's coach right now pleading for some more blocking fouls. The Spartans are staying pretty aggressive on defense right now, and he thinks it's being a little too handsy. Coach McGinnis wants the same thing on the other end. We'll see if they let the contact keep going.
Newton doubled down. Soft hook wouldn't go, but Ryan, they're going to call him for traveling.
Very subtle travel. He moved his other foot.
Wow.
I don't know if I saw that one.
That's a surprise to everyone.
You can see how wide open the middle of the floor WashU keeps the floor and keeps the paint. Leaves driving games so wide open and allows them to do this backdoor cutting action because they're not going to run into anybody.
The defense doing a great job of making tough shot selections. Both defenses. Gensler and Drenth out top. This is Prendergast, catch and shoot. Knocks it down. Mitch Prendergast. Mitch has got 39 threes, leads the team, and Jackie shoots 42% from behind the arc.
Great shooter, and this is almost the opposite of probably what we would have expected. 9-10 game, almost halfway through the first half. I was expecting more of a higher scoring with how much star power both teams have.
Well, we got to credit the defenses, I guess. They've done a nice job, as I said, of making shots tough to come by, at least clean looks. Hardy misses the shot. Newton with a basketball. Off to Mitch. This is Prendergast with it. Looking left, dribble right, hop, step, jump. Laid it up, laid it in. He's got 5. Pat Yuckham wants a timeout. Spartans up a point. They're celebrating as they head to their bench. We'll be back.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
Jack, one thing to note about this WashU defense, they have made a season out of being a headache for opposing offenses. I watched the Emory-Washington University game down in Atlanta, and Emory didn't score for the first 8 minutes of the game. WashU's limiting their opponents to 39% from the field. So for the Spartans to, stay tight early, that's a good sign.
Absolutely, and to be honest, the shots they're coming by right now are hard to come by. You see our last 5 points were a three with a hand in your face from Mitch and then another layup that he got in transition. The Spartans are having a hard time right now in half-court offense, and that's what WashU prides himself on.
Charlie Jacob with that basket. This is Thorburn kicking it. Ryan Newton to Cole Frilling. Cole to the line. Threw it up. Almost went. He's going to shoot free throws. Boy, I thought that was dropping in.
Yep. Cole almost had that one, and you can see how well, when the Spartans drive, their help side defense is so well. It swallows you up and it forces you to kick it back out, but they're coached so well and they practice so well that their closeouts are so quick on top of that. It essentially gives this feeling that you can't get any open shot as an offense. And Case is going to work through that, but at the beginning it definitely looks like a little bit of an adjustment for the Spartans.
This is Cole Frilling on the season, 82% from the foul line. Cole had 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists on Friday night's win over the University of Chicago. He was our post-game guest. Well, you played well when you were a post-game guest, right?
Yeah. And Ron, you can see right now we have Hardy. Actually, Hardy's coming right back in the game. But I was going to say Hardy and Nolan are both off the court right now. I'd like to see Case try and make a little run.
Spartan defense extended right now. Ryan Newton nearly at half court with Mack. The ball almost thrown out of bounds, and it was.
And it is, yes.
Carlson couldn't handle it. Right into the Spartan bench.
Ron, it's great to see the crowd back inside today. WashU has a lot of fans behind us right now, and it's great to see all the fellow Spartans come out to support.
Friday night was good. The part of the football team was here. I think some of those guys are back today. Catch and shoot by Daniel Flory.
In and out.
Flory hit 3 big threes in that Chicago game on Friday night in the second half when the Spartans really took control of the basketball game. This is Jacob to the lane. He's going to shoot 2 free throws. Ryan Newton.
Going back to Flory, he's perfect at times for what Case is trying to do, because you have these other teams trying to focus in. I mean, just look at the lineup you have out there right now. You have Fowler, Prendergast, you got Newton out there, and Frilling. They've got so much to focus on in those 4, and to add such a sharpshooter in Flory on the other side, he gets all these open looks and he helps spread the floor for the other 4.
That's a rare miss from Jacob at the foul line. 94% from the free throw line. Brian Hines back in. Ryan Newton will come to the sideline. Hines started out this game in explosive fashion. He had 6 quick points. He was the recipient of a couple of wonderful passes by Griffin Cornicker. Fowler looking for a teammate. Frilling's got it in front of that WashU bench. Now it's Flory. High screen. Prendergast catch and shoot. Fadeaway shot. Missed the shot, and Hardy comes down with a rebound. Here comes Doyle with the basketball. Game's tied at 13. 11 minutes gone, opening half. In what we hope ends up being an exciting basketball game for the Spartans of Case Western Reserve. Long 3 missed. Ball tipped out by the Bears. Knocked out of bounds by WashU. Spartans will have it back.
Seems like an awfully long break for Jack Nolan. Finally getting back into the game here. Spartans going to have to figure out how to neutralize this once again. They did a great job in the beginning of the game. As you can see, it's 13-13.
He looks to me like he's limping a little on that right ankle, to be honest with you.
He could be maybe a little weak. That's a storyline to watch definitely for the rest of the game. If he's, I see that for sure.
This is Prendergast and Cornicker out top. Graduate teammates. Mitch knocks it down.
But on the line, only a 2. They'll change that soon, but great shot there by Prendergast.
They said it was a 2?
They did, yep. Just changed it.
Now I got to change it on my board, too. I gave Mitch a 3. I'm not the official scorer, though.
No, Ron, it's a good point. You can visibly see, you can see him right there limping.
Yeah, he looks like he's really bothered. Cornicker missed the layup. Prendergast missed it too. That's unfortunate for the Spartans. They had an opportunity to go up 2 buckets.
Oh, that's going to go with the Spartans. Yep. Good rip by Bob Fowler. Hit off the knee. It's going to go with the Spartans.
Right now, Jack Nolan's just gutting through something. You can tell the grimace on his face. Maybe he's decoying us all, though. The great ones do that. You know, the great ones do that.
This would be a pretty good decoy. You can see.
Yeah, he
you can
looks
see the
like he's
grimace on
hurt.
his face.
8 minutes left, opening half. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Last game that Pat Yuckham and his Washington University Bears played was Friday night in Pittsburgh. They lost in overtime, 71-68. In that game, they shot just 36% from the field. However, Carnegie Mellon's a pretty good basketball team. So, yes, a surprise that the number 3 ranked team in the country lost, but not a huge one on the road in Pittsburgh with that Tartan basketball team this year. Spartans would like to make it, Jack, 2 losses in a row.
Absolutely, and very interesting choice right here by Wash here. They're going to a zone, possibly strategic here. You know, a good zone requires a lot of movement, but it can also limit it. And a big shot right there by Frilling.
Well, one of the things that the Spartans have struggled against this year, Jack, is that zone matchup. Remember what Emory did to him on a Friday night here 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely, and they struggle with even Rochester played a zone against them. They ended up stopping, and they ended up figuring it out. But a zone has been an issue for them in the past. They've had issues with settling for a lot of threes. If they can hit them, they can hit them, but hopefully they can get the ball inside and keep the threes being open as well as getting, layups at the rim.
That foul's on Cameron Mack. That's Cameron's second. The 6'6 senior from Algonquin, Illinois will take a break on the bench. 7:20 left, opening half. Cornicker with the basketball, Nolan on him. Look at the screen, Hines rolls out of it. Griffin to the left, finds Fowler. Back in that man defense.
Yep.
Griffin, top of the key, knocks it down. Cornicker with his first bucket, and it's a 3. Quickly down the floor, Bears come with the basketball. Long 3 by Doyle, missed it right. Jacob with the rebound. He's a smooth player, Charlie Jacob. He looks effortless.
Absolutely, and he's taking on a big matchup. He was guarding Frilling earlier in the game. He's guarding Fowler now, trying to keep the Bears afloat right now.
Boy, Brian Hines is playing with some strength and some confidence, and Griffin Cornicker. Hines should take Cornicker out for a pizza tonight and buy it because Griff's giving him some great looks.
Now, I don't know if you saw that, again, visible grimace. I mean.
And Cornicker just went right by Jack Nolan.
Yeah.
And Jack is biting his tongue as he comes off the floor.
That's a 10-point lead right now for the Spartans. Spartans have to be happy right now, Ron.
Look at Cornicker. Look at Hines celebrate. And if you're Pat Yuckham and you see Coach Yuckham right there with his Bears, you're trying to figure out how you're going to stem this tide. You're on the road, second game on the road. Spartans are trying to take advantage of the moment and let the storm surge and really kind of, it's the first half. We got 26 and 24 seconds left of basketball, so there's a lot of time. But, boy, time in the present is really when you want to drop the hammer if you can.
Absolutely, and, I can see it on Jack Nolan's face. Anybody who's gotten hurt in the middle of a game before knows when you're a really big competitor, you kind of almost got to plot your moves a couple steps in advance, even more than you already would, because half of your movements are essentially gone. Now you can't go 100% in some different movements. You can't cut the way you used to. You can't run the way you used to. As you just saw right there on the last play, you can't guard the way you used to. So, as we can see right now, he's still fighting through it. I know the Spartans know that he's hurt right now. And to be honest, Ron, looking at what we were watching, without Nolan at 100%, I don't think there's a question that the Spartans are a better team right now.
Jack Nolan, 22 points per game. UAA candidate for Player of the Year. Charlie Jacobs, step back shot blocked by Frilling. Here comes Cornicker, looking up, looking right. Fowler to Frilling. Back to Bob with a ball fake and a spin. Fade away right-hander and drops it in.
Great job by Fowler to shield the ball away, use his size to shoot right over him. That's a great shot for Bob.
Banging inside is Jake Wolf against Hines. Jake with the basketball, looking for a teammate. Now going to back down Hines. Hines tied him up.
Jump
ball. Hometown fans, I think it's the football guys going nuts. They love the physical play of Brian Hines. Bears are going to keep it, though. They've got the possession arrow.
12 points. This is making WashU very, very uncomfortable. This is not a position that they've been in against Case, as we mentioned, I would say for a long time, but it really hasn't been ever. Ron, for many, many times ever.
50 times these two teams have met. Spartans have won 3. 3-47 against one of the signature programs in the University Athletic Association. Frilling with great defense as the shot clock winds down, and WashU's going to get another look. That long rebound. On those long shots, oftentimes you get that long rebound, and it turns into 2 points as Hayden Doyle lays it up and lays it in.
Absolutely. WashU's doing a really good job of getting extra taps on the ball, trying to keep it alive. That last one, again, long shot, long rebound, and they got a tap as well. Getting a lot of offensive boards. Right now they got 8 on the game.
Cornicker just dribbled it out of bounds. Griff on the baseline was looking up to pass it to a teammate and lost the basketball. He doesn't do that often. Leads the association in assists with 6 per game. Spartans as a team have turned the ball over on the average only 13 times per game. WashU, same, very good with the basketball. They have only 11 turnovers per game on the average. It's one of the reasons why both of these teams are 14-2. Nobody there for that pass. Prendergast will take it himself.
Great take.
Mitch did a nice job using his body, Jack, to keep the defender away. Back inside, Hines going to play defense. Kick it out, steal by Cole. They're going to call Cole for his second foul.
A little too overzealous on that one. Got a lot of body. As you can see on the replay there, yep, a little bit too much.
Check that. That's Cole's first. You can tell the Spartan team's playing with an energy right now that we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen a lot of energy this year, but this is a next level energy type right now.
Absolutely, and maybe to go with what you were talking about earlier with the way they've struggled.
It looks, he's playing on one ankle right now, and he can still hit that off an inbounds play.
Yep. And that's what scares you if you're the Spartans. Now, you mentioned before, early in the game, that they have slow starts. Great pass right there by Fowler. These slow starts, maybe they just don't have I don't know, maybe they just don't have the energy, but right now there was no lack of energy with this game against WashU. They know the circumstances. They know this could put them at first place, or at least in a tie for first place with the UAA. They want it.
Emory's 5-1. Both of these teams are 4-1.
Obviously,
fouls
they lose
on
that tiebreaker.
Fowler. Yikes. That's 3 fouls on Bob Fowler. We will not see him for the final 3:53 of this opening half. Justin Hardy just told Coach Yuckham, and we talked about Justin's situation, stage 4 stomach cancer. He said, ride me a little more. I got a little more. And guess what? He's going back to the scorer's table. He had the steel look in his eye, didn't he? He said, ride me a little more.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just got tingles, actually, when I witnessed that. There was a time. It's a 10-month process right now. We're going to keep it here, talk a little bit more about what I think is one of the best stories in the country this year in college basketball. If we can get a shot of the Washington University bench while we talk about Hardy. There was a time back in the summer where he started his 10-month journey with that stage 4 stomach cancer. You know, he had abdominal pains that led him to an ER trip, and they discovered the cancer on that trip. He's 22 years old, Jack. How old are you?
22 as well, and you can see him right there if you're watching.
He's holding the blue.
The right
he's taking a drink with the blue bottle. Now that type of cancer, that stomach cancer, is typically diagnosed on the average of a person the age of 68. So it's extremely rare for Justin to be going through this. He lost 50 pounds. He worked his way back. He graduated from Washington University in December. His degree was in business administration. And he's just, you know, obviously been an inspiration to his teammates and his family and his coaches. But, you know, if any of these Spartans know the story on the floor today, of course they're going to compete like crazy against him today, and he would want nothing less. But afterwards, I bet you they give him a big pat on the head and say, man, you're an inspiration, because he certainly is. There's basketball to play, though. Corniker with the basketball. Now it's Prendergast. Spartans up 11, 3:40 and counting left in this opening half. Mitch didn't like the screen. Frilling has it. Frilling with a fadeaway soft shot. Cole Frilling. Jack, if Cole can knock those down, and we know that he can, but if he gets hot, he's a tough guy to guard. Doyle.
Good take on both ends. Frilling has the middle of the paint open for him if he wants to take it. He's just too quick right now off the ball. We'll see if he gets more of those as the game continues to go on.
Flory got the ball stolen. Daniel gets it back. Prendergast with it. Tight defense from Mack in his face. Mitch shoots it anyway, and here comes Charlie Jacob with a rebound. Boy, Spartans got to be careful. Charlie Jacob on the break. As I said, Mr. Smooth.
Spartans do need to be careful. That shot was the one that was going down earlier in the game. Right now, that was a really easy layup in transition for WashU. Case needs to be focused right now. A little bit of a run. I know it's not big, and a steal right here from the Bears.
Doyle will lay it up, and he'll make it again.
See how much longer Coach McGinnis wants to watch this. 3 subs coming in for the Spartans.
Corniker with a high screen. Griffin going to force up a shot.
Good
he made
shot.
it. Boy, that was a lot of strength by Corniker to even get that shot off. Mack, long three. Boy, Cameron Mack. Cameron Mack averages only 3 points on the season. He's a big body defensive guy. Frilling matches it.
Yeah, same shot we were just talking about. Cole can get that shot whenever he wants. He practices that. Looks natural, and he extends the lead back to 8.
Prendergast and Hines left Mack alone. Mack missed a shot, trying to get it back. Flory knocked it off him. And the Spartans will have the basketball. Boy, watch in this replay. Hines leaves him. Mitch says, okay, I've stopped him. I'm going to get help again, but nobody comes. Cameron's like, you got to be kidding me.
Almost had it. Oh.
Umar Rashid now checking in for the Spartans. Hunter Drenth back in. Rashid from Canton, Georgia, Creekview High School, first-year player. Good bench time for Coach McGinnis this year. Rashid has done well. This is Hunter Drenth, cut off on the baseline by Mack. Minute 25 left to play opening half. Spartans up 8.
You know, the Spartans have played more of an outside game, more isolation. Haven't fed Newton or Hines too much in the post. Good board, but they're going to call him out of bounds.
Cole Frilling fighting for that.
And that's part of the reason because WashU's got such talented bigs. Case is going to want to take advantage of the outside. They think they have it, and to be honest, right now they have had it. They're up 8, and they're riding it with it still. If I'm WashU right now, I'm hoping for a 5-point game. I'm targeting 5 points. Can I cut it to 5?
We've got 65 seconds to do it. Mack out top with Newton on him. Nolan's going to come off a screen. Going to shoot it from way out. Boy, he almost made that. That was like a 32 off a screen fadeaway jump shot.
So casual as well.
Yeah.
Didn't even look like he was really getting ready for it.
I would imagine, as the Spartans are going to
and that's going to be a
foul
1-1
from David Windley. I would imagine, Jack, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you're the basketball player. that it would be easier for Nolan to get off his shots if he comes off screens and can catch and shoot, as opposed to trying to create his own look if he's fighting an ankle injury?
You know, Ron, that's a great question. It really depends on the player. Statistically, it does show that putting the ball on the ground reduces universally almost everybody's field goal percentage. So from a pure statistical standpoint, usually that's what happens. Now, it depends player to player. Some players really like creating off the dribble. You know, we have the luxury of being able to watch Cole Frilling a lot. He does a great job shooting off the bounce and does a good job, I would say equally as good, shooting off the catch. Jack Nolan, as you can see with the way he prepares in the game, practices both. He has very good footwork, and a footwork that's actually really hard to master that he does very well. I think he's such a good shooter, to be honest, Ron, that I think either way he'll probably be okay.
Justin Hardy. He's got 2 threes in this game. I can give you a little more. Push me a little more, he said to his coach, Pat Yuckham, when Pat tried to take him out of the ball game. It's a 7-point game. Spartans with the lead. Inside 20 seconds to play. Prendergast.
See Frilling out there?
Frilling. Fadeaway jumper, soft shot, missed it. Rebound by Thorburn, wouldn't go. And the Spartans were denied at the end of the half.
You know, Ron, overall, a great half from the Spartans. Could not be happier going into the half with a 7-point lead. Here's Coach McGinnis.
Todd McGinnis, the head men's coach here at the Case Western Reserve University. Todd, you've got to be happy with the way that first half played.
Sorry, I'm not used to wearing this mask over here. It was okay. Yeah, I thought we gave up some buckets that just miscommunication. They've scored, and Jacobs has hurt us on the glass, tipping it back. So hey, I'm just happy. This is the first time I've been over here this year. We haven't been losing at halftime. So, and I've starved myself for 2 days after how big I looked the other day. So I think I look a little skinnier today. So, but it's good. It's good. We lost no one once on a back screen, and he makes it. You know what I mean? And we lost Hardy twice, and he makes them. And so, they're good.
They're very good.
They're well coached.
Charlie Jacobs, a smooth player. He's a smooth operator. And
they've been here forever, some of these guys, you know what I mean? So we just got to play better. Bob, I didn't even know Bob had 2 fouls. That's my bad for leaving him in to get a third there, and that, hurt us a little bit. But we'll be all right. We just got to keep them off the glass. 8 offensive rebounds they're not the biggest team.
Right, they're getting second looks. Too many.
It's unacceptable, you know what I mean? And it's the guards. It's our guards just getting bullied a little bit, not being tough enough. So, we'll adjust that here, and hopefully a good outcome. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Todd. Todd McGinnis, the men's coach, takes his team into halftime with a 7-point lead. It's 39-32. The men's soccer team, or actually the men's tennis team, check that. The men's tennis team is on the court right now at halftime, and they are being honored, and boy, it's well-deserved. They were national runner-ups this year in Division III NCAA tennis. It's the best any program has ever finished in the history of Case Western Reserve athletics. National runner-ups, and we're gonna bring their coach Todd Wachowski right off the floor. Todd, keep standing up. We're gonna stay right here.
All right.
And Todd, you go from the floor, being honored for your national runner-up team, to halftime with me. I mean, how much better can it get?
I've been looking forward to this all week. I texted John every day. I said, everything's good. Set.
Yeah, Todd, let's talk about that group of young men that you just had on the floor there. Your national runner-ups. No team in the history of Spartan athletics has ever made it that far. It's a pretty special group, isn't it?
It is a special group, and it's taken quite a bit of time to put it together. This was the 13th season that I had been here, and there are a lot of things that have to come together because there's a lot of good teams out there. So we don't want to take for granted what we were able to do, but we definitely have a bad taste in our mouth right now, and we want to rectify the situation in a month when we host the national indoors, and of which we'll be the #1 seed. So the pressure will be on us to get the job done, and then in May we want to hold that thing up again, but have it be gold.
Well, that's the winner's attitude, isn't it? You have a bad taste in your mouth. You're a national runner-up. You could say, man, we had a great year. I mean, look at us. But you're not satisfied with that at all.
Yeah, it was just tough the way it went down at the end. I mean, we felt a lot of magic, that group. Everybody came back. You know, they had the option to stay at home when it was virtual. When the fall semester started, everybody came back. They isolated themselves with each other. You know, last fall, I mean, everybody was very secluded. And they just pushed each other and lived together and spent the entire year just only able to play against themselves for 6-7 months straight. And then finally, when they let us out, they let a lot out, that's for sure.
That's a mental discipline thing, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things. I mean, I've been here 13 years. We've never had a top 10 recruiting class. And tennis is objective. You can have a rating. It's just like golf has a handicap. It's not as subjective as basketball or soccer. You are how good you are. And we've never gotten a top 10 recruiting class in the country, ever. And then, you know, all of a sudden, we're just finding ourselves in a position where we're competing for a national championship with guys that, you know, weren't necessarily the stars of their class when they graduated. So I think the biggest challenge this year has been we had the #1 recruiting class in the country, but those players that came in weren't a part of any of that last year. So it's just been funny seeing them come in and just get their teeth knocked out by the guys who weren't as good of recruits as them.
Right, the chosen ones.
But
yeah.
You know, they got to take some knocks here to you know, get tougher, and they see like how much of a mental game it can be. We're really proud of that.
It's a huge step up, isn't it, Todd?
Yeah.
Competition-wise, you could be all that in a bag of chips at your high school level, but when you play college tennis or college any sport, it's a reckoning.
Oh, well, I mean, you and I were 18 once, and we were 22 once. Think about how much more mature we were at 22 than we were at 18.
Right.
And I think that's a big, you know, kudos to Todd's success with the basketball team. I mean, a big cultural shift. They got some size out there. They got some really big boys that are pushing weight around. And this is the #3 team in the country they're playing right now. And it looks like we're the #3 team in the country, you know, to be honest, from what I'm looking at. And it's just a physicality, strength, a confidence. They're expecting every play to go their way. They're expecting every call to go their way because that's what they're expecting.
Right.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of similarities, definitely.
Let's talk about a couple of young men that I took notes on. James Hopper, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ansh, yeah. Ants, and Vishwa Adura.
Yep.
3 players that, you know, the national rankings, you spoke about rankings just a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
You said they're very subjective. But let's talk about them for a second because they just came out at the end of the year for the next year, and you got 6th, 10th, and 32nd out of those 3 guys.
Yep.
Good players.
Yeah, 3 of the top 50 in the country in one lineup. Obviously, the seating committee for national indoors, they made their decision for a reason. I think it looks like we have the strength up top, but then we're also going deeper than we ever did. Back in the, you know, CJ Krimble era, when he was the #1 player in the country, we had more of a drop. And now this guy Chaya Duru, Vish's brother, who played, you know, 4-5 for us last year, I mean, his record against Hopper in practice matches is 4-1. So
in favor of him.
In favor of him.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got guys that are lower that would be ranked up there if they were playing in that position. But you know, to be honest, Hopper is a special talent. He's the top player. He's #6 by ranking, but by rating in their UTR, he's the top ranked kid in Division III. By rating, if he were playing Division I tennis, he's also top 100 in Division I. Which would mean that even the national champion Florida Gators would like to put him in their lineup. So it's funny, with COVID and an extra year being granted, there are a lot of phone calls coming in for his grad year.
For his grad year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have any opportunity he wants.
And that's good for him.
It's good for him. It's good for us. It shows development. When he came in, he was nothing. He really wasn't on anyone's radar. And then, you know, freshman year, he won his first 32 matches in a row.
Didn't you have a similar, your own playing perspective? You finished at Ohio State, correct?
Right. I started out nothing at Toledo.
Yeah.
I really wasn't, I
wasn't about to say that you started out at nothing at Toledo. That wasn't my point. But the point was that you made a jump similar to what he has an opportunity to do.
Very similar. It's a good point. It was great development by the coach at Toledo. He did a great job, and I have a similar mentality. If we can do an amazing job of developing him and getting his level up to the certain point where he can win a national championship at Division III and use a grad year and go win a national championship at Division I, it'd be the craziest, story in college tennis that no one's ever done before. And he has goals. He wants to play in the Grand Slams. He wants to play at Wimbledon. And he has a world ranking. He's working his way up there, and I definitely think he can do it. I really believe, just sheer athleticism-wise.
So we mentioned the 3 ranked players, and then you've got Justin Powell, a grad student who's doubling up. I think they're 6th in doubles ranking. Who are some other young men on that team right now as you head into this indoor season?
Yeah, the brother, Chai Aduru, Vish's brother.
Let Bob Maver come through here, get this chair out of his way. Sorry.
I'll tell you, Chai Aduru, he might be one of my favorite tennis players of all time. I could just sit and watch him play a team match all day long. His energy, his confidence that he brings. He's not the biggest guy, but you feel like he is when his presence is out there. If you come to one of our matches, like I said, when we host nationals in a month, you'll know which guy he is. He's making sure that the team energy's up, and I just love that guy. I mean, to be honest with you, I just got back from Michigan. I was speaking at the Michigan Tennis Conference, and the whole hour was about, drills and how to get your team better. And at the end of it, I said, look, you can do all this stuff, but at the end of the day, if you don't love the players and understand how much of an impact you can have on them in their life and how much impact they can have on each other if they just commit to each other and share a love with each other, the drills don't matter, the technique doesn't matter, the rankings don't matter. What matters to me is they all live together, they love each other, they want to play on Friday night, they were back at the courts Saturday night, they were back at the courts Sunday morning at 7 a.m. this morning. They don't care about Saturday night, Friday night in college. They just want to be with each other playing tennis. And like I said, it took 12 or 13 years to finally get to that point. And it's just cool to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just watching.
Yeah, it makes you smile.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, I teared up in Michigan when I was speaking. I was like, I can't make this up. I truly love this team. They've done everything that they've been asked to do, and they deserve everything that's coming for them.
Todd, speaking of coming, you've got the first match is coming up February 4th, I believe?
6th, this
February
Sunday.
6th.
Yeah.
And then you talked about the national, here. Will it be in the Veal Center? Where will it be held?
It's at Mayfield Village Racket Club.
Mayfield Village Racket Club.
Yeah,
is that
right
your home court?
That's where we play and practice, indoors. Because they have 12 indoor courts, tons of space.
Beautiful.
We can just go and play some music, bring some energy. We're not bothering anybody. It's a quick shot down Mayfield Road. It's Alpha Beta, right off of Wilson Mills. We're going to blow the roof off that place in a month, that's for sure.
So that's the place to go if you want to see the men's tennis team this year.
Yeah, it's the All-Star weekend for basketball is the weekend before. So we're the encore.
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully you get just as much attention.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll leave it that way. Todd, thanks for joining me today.
I don't want any of it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
I want them to get it.
Well, that's what I meant, the team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's good hanging out.
Congratulations
great
on
seeing
an
you.
outstanding season, and we look forward to more.
Yep. Thank you.
Todd Wachowski, the men's tennis coach here at Case Western Reserve, joining us at halftime.